Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes, and this is actually one of my first broadcasts, one of my first live broadcasts, and I decided to do it this morning. Decided to do it here on Facebook. And this video is actually about working, and the title of this video is Are Companies Still Hiring Workers in 2023? And the video was actually prompted by an email that I received from one of my viewers. And it was from the husband of a woman who has been looking for a job for a very, very long time. And he was commenting on a video that I produced. I'm going to pull it up here so you can see it. He was commenting on this video here, which is giant HR organizations say companies renew efforts to retain and hire older workers. And like a lot of comments I get from viewers who are older, and what they're saying is, Lou, I can't find a job. It's just so difficult to find a job, and I'm out of work for months. This particular case, this woman was out of work for has been out of work for over 8 months. But her husband watched my video that said companies are actually looking to hire. Companies are actually renewing efforts to retain and hire older workers. And this is from SHRM, which is the Society for Human Resource Management. There's an article on their website. I produced a video around this article, and based on what the job market looked like last year. And what the job market was like last year was we had folks anybody who was unemployed. What they said is there's 1.9 jobs out there for every single person who is unemployed. Well, the comments I received from this video from folks are saying, no, Lou, that's just not true. I can't find a job. I've been looking for a long time. People are not hiring older workers. I'm thinking SHRM, they've got 360,000 HR professionals, and I use that and put that word in quotes, professionals. They're located in 127 countries, I believe. And I'm thinking, if anybody knows this job market, if anybody can say companies are renewing efforts to retain, hire older workers, I'm thinking, yeah, it's these folks. They should know what's going on. But you know what I found? I found that over time, in the last 10 months since this video was produced, what I found was, no, that's just not true. And this is a message I got from a viewer. It says here, I do not believe companies are hiring older workers. And this is from one of the viewers. He says, my wife's worked in banking and she's been in the insurance industry now for about 20 years. She has an MBA and a bachelor's in cybersecurity. So when you're seeing this, she's educated, she got the experience, she's in a field which I believe is in demand from what I know, from what my research shows. But she just can't find a job. And what he says is, he goes on and he says she's got laid off 8 months ago. He says, and cannot find another job. She's trying to stay within the same industry. She's had some fairly lengthy interviews, and she keeps getting we've decided to go in another direction. You basically turn down. And he says, I've determined that to mean a younger candidate. He said, my wife's 56 and she still has another good 10 to 15 plus years she wants to work. He says, but he just can't seem to get a job. And then he says at the bottom here, as you can see, he says, for her frustration is really building to the point of depression. And I've got to tell you, I get a lot of this from viewers, and you can understand it. I'm sure if you're somebody out there and you're older and you've been looking for a job and you can't seem to find the job or any job, well, you know what? Yeah, you can get depressed. You can get upset. You can just look at yourself, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, you know what? What's wrong with me? Well, there's nothing wrong with you. What's wrong is that we have a system in place right now that accepts ageism. And it's something that we're unable to change that system. But what we can do is try to change ourselves. Because when you look at this article here, giant HR organizations say companies renew efforts to retain and hire older workers. Well, let's try to put ourselves in a better position. And there's some ways that we can do it. Now, number one, I'm always going to suggest you start with your resume. And if you have items or line items in your resume that say, hey, I worked here 20 years ago and this is what I did. We'll take those out or off your resume. And what you could do, my recommendation is have no more than 10 years worth of work history on your resume. That's certainly going to be enough. Now, this woman that I referred to, 56-year-old woman, has 20 years experience in her industry. But yeah, you know what? You're only going to be 1 or 2 line items like that. But when you start listing 5, 6, 7, 8 or more items, you want to reduce that substantially. So number one, work on your resume. Make it look a little younger. Number two, I'm thinking that one of the things that we know we need to do is we really need to practice our interview skills, and that is something that you can do. I've got a list of videos that I produce that can help you answer some of the most common asked questions when it comes to interview skills. So you want to practice that. But number three, and I'm looking back at this organization, at this video I produced. It says that renewing efforts to retain and hire older workers. So yeah, they're trying to retain workers. So you've got to keep your skills sharp. And if your skills aren't sharp, take the classes that you need or the program, get into the programs that you need to do that. Another thing that's very, very important is to network, and network like crazy. If it's whether or not you're networking within groups, like this woman is in cybersecurity, I'm sure there's got to be some organizations out there that are involved with cybersecurity. So network in those kinds of, or at inside those organizations, meet people who are members. Network. That's the number one way of finding a new job, is by networking with people who get to know you, hopefully get to like you. And then what they'll do is they're going to be more inclined to hire you because they know you and they believe in you because they've gotten to understand or learn about your skills. So networking is extremely, extremely important. So those are some of the ways that I can recommend that you can be or increase the odds of your being successful. But here is another way, and I'm going to put up this panel here if I can do it for you. I recommend that you go ahead and you take a career aptitude test. Now, I've got this panel up here. These guys actually are sponsoring this video, but I have other career aptitude or companies who produce career aptitude tests that you can take. I've got some videos. I've got 2 videos where I did an extensive review of a number of career aptitude tests, but this company is called Career Fitter. You can take a free online test that they have. If you want to learn more about or match your skills, your personality interests, your interest with a job, I recommend that you take the career aptitude test to see where you're at and where you best fit. Now, if you want to dive deeper into your career, well, you know what? There's a paid version. You can do that as well. You can take that as well. But I recommend that you do that. Now, here's something else I'm going to recommend, which is somewhat, I'd say, a huge career shift for most people, but it's not as big a career shift as you might think. And that suggestion is to start a side hustle. And starting a side hustle is a way for you to make some additional money now and possibly build a future business. Now, I understand that starting a business isn't for everyone. There's no question about that, and I get that. But like this woman that I just posted up, and I'm going to pull up her husband's comment again. He says she's been in cybersecurity for 20 years. She's got some skills. In my opinion, she's probably got some great skills. And if you look here, about 20 years, she has an MBA and a bachelor's in cybersecurity. This woman is an expert in what she does. So for me, if I'm her and I've got this expertise and I can't find a job, well, I'm going to invest. I'm going to invest in, number one, in networking myself. I'm also going to learn how to start a business and you sell those skills. And you can go online to some of the sites like an Upwork, where you can look for people who are looking for your particular skills. And I'm sure there's some other job postings, other job sites that you can go to, that you can look to see where people may want to hire you as an expert. Now, I do have my Side Hustle Rules channel, YouTube channel that I started for people who do want who do want to start a business. So I'd suggest if you're looking at it, you're thinking about this as a career move, that's going to be a big career move for me, go to my Side Hustle Rules page and sign up. If you want to go deeper into it, well, you know what you could do? If you could become a member of my Side Hustle Rules Patreon page, it's a membership driven page. There's 3 levels. It's a minimum of $5 a month to get into it. You can invest in yourself, certainly. If you $5 is too much to invest in yourself, well, then there's nothing I can suggest that would help you. But other than saying this to you, sharpen your skills, practice your interview technique, interview skills, but also network like crazy. So are companies, let's answer that question. Are companies still hiring older workers in 2023? My answer is yes, they are. It's going to take you longer to find a job. There's no question about it. You may have to do the things that I just mentioned. You should do the things I just mentioned anyway. But I believe they're still hiring, but it's going to take a longer time to find a job when you're older, and statistics bear that out. So that's all I got for you today, my friends. I want to thank you for tuning in here on Facebook, tuning into my video. And if you have any questions, as always, you can go ahead and you can, if you like, you can go ahead and make a comment. Well, that's all I got for you. And as I always say, have a great day, everybody.
Yeah.